Weekly, I'd probably be not huge. I'm going to open my training peaks now and tell you. No, I wouldn't go over. I don't know. Probably our biggest week was maybe 26 hours because it was quite difficult because we had Dallas and then we were kind of traveling. But I'm not a big trainer anyway. I guess my workload is quite high. Like my TSS will be quite high because if I train, I train. I rarely go and cycle at like 200 watts. I mean, if I cycle, I'll cycle at my proper like zone 2, which for me is like 280 watts. So if that's already quite so demanding, and the actual like workload, like the pure energy that's going out is quite high, but my hours aren't that high. So I would say I'm definitely more quality focused than I am quantity. That being said, when people say, oh, I'm much bigger into quality than I am quantity, people associate that with like high intensity, but I do pretty much zero high intensity. I had some gut issues, like gut permeability issues, and one of the things to get it to heal better was to do more like no anaerobic efforts, so I did this was maybe like 18 months ago, and this was one of the breakthroughs that helped me in my performance, was getting my gut healthy. And so one of the things was taking digestive enzymes, and then another thing was also not doing any anaerobic work, and like for 8 weeks, basically like an 8-week really strict protocol of not eating gluten, not eating raw veg, and blah blah blah, and just to get my gut healthy again, so I could actually absorb the training. I feel like that's something that a lot of people suffer from in endurance sport. I was lucky enough to come across. Well, I didn't come across him; it was me who employed him. But I only live an hour away from Girona, and I knew that Jan was working with a doctor in Girona. And I mean, Jan is the king of comebacks, from injuries and all sorts. And so I went to see him and said, listen, I feel like there's something not quite right in my body. I don't feel like because what was happening was I would wake up one morning after a rest day and feel completely tired, because actually the tiredness was coming from some food that I've eaten. I just wasn't, it was creating inflammation, and I couldn't train properly. So once I got that sorted, I definitely made a huge difference to me. And and actually gut health is often overlooked, but I think some people I feel that some people can massively benefit from it, because at the end of the day, if your gut's not healthy, like you can't keep up with the workload of training. But sorry, I've deviated a bit.
No, that's really interesting, Sam. I mean, I think fueling's so easily overlooked. I work as a sports physiotherapist, and in the endurance capacity, I think still one of the greatest challenges athletes face is making sure they have enough energy available to, absorb the workload and have their bodies stay healthy. So what you just mentioned there about gut permeability issues and people having challenges. I know Dan Plews recently said that the number one reason people don't finish an Ironman is probably not surprising. It is GI issues. And, he pointed out that there's often a bit of a race for carbohydrate ingestion each hour, how many grams per hour, yet on average, most people's guts can't tolerate more than about 60 grams. So anything else we take in surplus can just sit in the stomach and that is the problem.
Hi, it's Sam Laidlow, professional pole dancer, and you're listening to the Physical Performance Show.